another episode of the Frankly Funded podcast, where frankly, we'll fund anything. And I'm your host, Frank Array, and I'm going to be frank with you today. And so is Hope Prince, my cohort in crime and my business partner. Hi, Hope. How's it going?
Good, Frank. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Ironically, we shot these episodes weeks apart and we're wearing the exact same clothes that we
Yeah.
wore on the first
Yeah,
one.
this is one of my favorite shirts. I
Yeah,
love I love these colors.
this is my only one that. Anyways, Hope, I want to talk about this new thing that popped up. We sent an email out to everybody about it, and we got a lot of people saying, "What?" And it's this thing. I'm calling it draw gap funding. That's what I've labeled it. I don't think there's an official name for it. I don't think the funding source that we get it from has a name for it. But I like the name draw gap funding.
Mhm.
And what is it, Hope? What does that do for someone? As far now, here's full disclosure. This is a brand new product. Hope and I are firmly equipped with about 84% of the details. So you're going to get about an 84% accurate podcast today on this product. But I think it's enough to get the idea across. And of course, if you need help with anything, just contact us. So what is it?
Yeah. So typically in a fix and flip project or a ground up construction, right? The typical process is of course you have your plans, right?
Hmm.
And so let's say that I'm gonna put in new floors. And so you would go to the store, buy your floors or your contractor, you would put them in, and then you would submit your draw request. So they would reimburse you for the money that you've already spent on your materials and all the things, right?
So typically that's how it is. So a lot of people don't know that. So most of these deals, when you're going to do some work, you got to pony up the money yourself first, get the work done, then submit some information saying, I did this work and that's what it cost me. And then you get reimbursed for that. So
Yeah.
it's a reimbursement thing. It's not an
Yeah.
upfront thing.
You have to take those pennies out of your own pocketbook and put them
Mm,
into the house, and then we reimburse your pennies or
mm,
dollars.
mm,
And so this draw gap funding shaves a little bit of those dollars coming out of your pocket off. So
mm,
the loan is only for materials. So same scenario, I'm going to put in floors and I'm having my contractor do it. So I would get an invoice from my contractor, one invoice for just the materials and one invoice for his labor and taxes, right?
mm-hmm.
And then you could, instead of swiping your credit card, for example, right, or pulling from your savings, what you would do is you would submit this invoice for immediate funding.
Mm,
And then when you submit your draw request, right, after
mm,
you've completed the work, you would, of course, pay back that loan.
mm.
And then you would,
It's a good idea. It instead
Mhm.
of having to come out because like some of this stuff can be expensive. I think it's a 50,000. The biggest draw you can take on it is 50,000 at one time, up to 50 at one time, right? So that's a pretty good
Yeah,
number,
yeah.
especially if you're just doing your typical fix and flips on your single family homes, that kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I need to put the roof on. Contractor says, okay, it's going to be 20,000 bucks, of which 12 of it is material or something like
Yeah.
that. So I can get the material paid for with
Mhm.
this draw gap funding so I don't have to pay it out of my own pocket. And then once it's all done, I show the lender it's done. I get the full $20,000 reimbursement. Then I pay back
Mhm.
I pay back the draw
Yeah.
gap funding. And then I can do it again. So
And
I
you
can
can do
do
it
it
again.
again. I can do it again, do it again.
And
Yeah.
and this really will help you out. A lot of contractors won't begin work until they've have a certain percentage, right, of the
Mm.
money on the front end because they've gotten lost money before. And
They
so,
want a lot of times they'll say, "Hey, you got to pay for the materials." Then when we're done, I'll bill you for the labors for the labor, right? So,
and now I know you're thinking, what happens if I'm doing the work myself? There's no general contractor, and I go to
mm,
Lowe's or Home Depot, right, or
mm,
whatever hardware store
mm,
is closest to my house. They have relationships directly with Lowe's and Home Depot, and they'll pay those invoices directly. So then you're still left to pay the taxes and insurance. I'm sorry, not insurance, just taxes on
hmm.
those. Just used
And
to, it's like
insurance.
being in there. So you have to
you
pay your
you've
own
been doing
taxes.
loans too long,
I
Hope
have.
Prince. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
have. So
Yeah.
yes, you'll be responsible for your taxes, any delivery fees, right?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things, but they will pay the invoice directly. So it really helps, that capital to keep you moving.
It does, but I had a conversation. Well, just it was just yesterday. We were talking to someone that I was talking to, and I let you know about them. But um, hey, we've got this new product, and this is how it works. And it's her and her husband. They're really experienced flippers. This is what they do. And she was like, "Oh, no, that's cool." She said, "That's cool because that means we could start another project. We, have to have these reserves laying around to cover those expenses. We could probably then start another project before this one is finished." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the goal." So what's like it cost? What's the rate
Yeah,
on it and they, like, I don't remember those details. Do you?
I do.
Okay.
So that's typically 30, 60, or 90-day term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, you're going to submit for that draw to come right back, right?
Mm,
And so you can do one of the three. And then the interest rate on it is about 1.5%, a little less
mm.
per month.
Okay.
So you can't not pick that up from your credit card. It's a good deal. And we can also help mid-construction. So let's say that you're into a project and you realize that you want to free your money up like you did, like you just said
Yeah.
for that other client, right?
Yeah.
You can take advantage of this project even if you didn't do your original loan with me. I can help you.
Oh, so right. It doesn't. Okay. But we could certainly do your original loan as well, right?
For
It's
sure. But
probably best just to start with us. It would be the recommended thing. I mean, going to speak frankly, I would
yeah,
say I would just start with us is what I would do. Okay, good. Draw gap funding. Awesome stuff. What a great little tool. Brand new product, guys. This is new. The thing that we're connected to for this, it's to them too. So their goal though is ramp it up so that line right now it's limited to 50, carrying a $50,000 balance at one time. They want to ramp that up to 100,000 pretty quick. Isn't that what that guy was saying? Like ramp it
yeah.
up to about 100 grand. So it's a really neat thing. It is new. If you're starting a fix and flip project, or even if you're in the middle of one and you want to look into this, just reach out to us here on our website, here on the blog. You can always go to flippinghope.com as well and just get directly connected to Hope. He'll take very, very good care of you, or I'll fire her. So that's that's the way. That's not true. That's not true. Well, and I can't anyway because we both own the business. So yeah, that
Yeah.
wouldn't work out too well. So,
No,
all right.
it wouldn't end well.
None of it would go well for me. I know that. So, anyways, yeah, if you need help with something, let us know. Fix and flip, ground up construction, that kind of a thing. And we do have this draw gap funding, which could be very helpful. And even if you're in a project with another lender and you want it, we can help with it still. So good stuff. Reach out to us here on the blog. Go to flippinghope.com. You have a fabulous day, and we'll catch you here next time at Frankly Funded. The Frankly Funded podcast, my friends. We'll see y'all later. Adios.